Okay, this is Dave with ToothyGrinsStore.com, and we're here in Luce Memorial Park. This is probably one of the nicer parks in Kansas City, and you can see that this is a statue of Jacob Luce, probably one of the chief patrons of this park. And I remember coming by here a few years ago, and this guy was painted completely yellow by a bunch of vandals, and it took him a while to get all the yellow off. It didn't happen overnight. They got a lot of it off, but there was some yellow there for a good few years. But it looks like it's finally come off, most of it. And you can see the dress of the 1940s, apparently. Looking a little aristocratic there. And here across the street from the statue, you see a large stone and concrete structure that was, it's pretty well designed, pretty big, and people use it for parties and events and things like that. You can see I can't even get the whole thing in my camera here. I have to pan it to get it all. There's quite a bit there. So unfortunately we're in November right now, but normally there are some amazing plants here. You see they've dug them up for the wintertime. But early next spring they'll be back with tons of beautiful plants that you can't see right now. And you can see across the way here there are two matching statues, male and female, with little fountains. Kansas City is known as the City of Fountains for allegedly having more fountains than anybody else. Not sure if that's true, but that's what they like to say. It's all marketing. So there's the male statue with the small fountain. Ironically, behind these statues are bathrooms. They put a lot of work on this side and put bathrooms on the other side. And there's the female statue. So, matching statues with fountains. Fountains are not running because it's November again. The only thing you're seeing now is the evergreens. And here we are on the other side of the statues. You see a playground. Look at all the cool toys with a padded surface underneath to protect all the children. You can see that it's a large place and lots of fun for the kids. This is all part of Luce Park. And you can see the entrance here. This is also part of Luce Park. Laura Conyers Smith Rose Garden, dedicated to her. I don't know much about her, who she is, but you can see the stone structure that stands in front with the wooden top. And there, underneath, you can see in the middle there's a big fountain. And during the summertime, looks like there are a few flowering plants left here. That's kind of cool. But you can see the fountain there, and during the summertime you will see people have weddings here. And here are some of the plants. Looks like I kicked up a little squirrel there. There he is. Kind of confused about what I'm doing. And if you're into flowers, there's some very pretty flowers here in the rose garden. Looks like they need to clean that out, huh? So we're at the tail end of the season, but there are still some roses blooming, which is very cool. There's a large bloom right there. Here's another exit to the Rose Garden here. Another stone wooden structure typical of the rest of this area. In a minute we're going to go over and look at some of the Civil War memorial stuff they have also in the park. All this is still part of Luce Park. And we've got some tennis courts here at Luce Park as well, and you can see that they're quite full with lots of people using the courts here, having a good time. You can see that there's also a greener section to the park here, more evergreen trees that have obviously been here for a long time based on their size. They're very big. Smells like pine needles here. Looks like some maples, perhaps, in the distance. We got in the field here in Luce Park, one of the fields, you see a couple guys, looks like they're practicing lacrosse, their lacrosse skills. Characterized by a long stick with a net on the end, and they are trying to throw the ball back and forth. Looks like it's coming my way here. Lacrosse was originally an American Indian sport, and it has survived to present times because many people have adopted the play of it in America. I don't think you see the sport very often in other countries, but here on the American continent. You can see across the street from the park is a residential area with some older homes here in Kansas City. You get an idea of how this is only a small part of the park. You can see our lacrosse players back there perhaps in the distance. And here we're coming across the area where the Civil War artifacts, instruments are, and you can see there's some history boards that tell you all about some of the battles that happened in this part of Kansas City during the Civil War. And there's the cannon. And you see that people come to read the history placards. And on this side of the park, it looks like we have some people practicing their soccer skills. And right about now, I don't know where it's coming from, but there's the distinct odor of pot. Somebody's smoking in the park, or has been in this area. It's really strong. can see pretty good large size area that the park occupies here. And this is only one part of the park. Across the street from the park. Pretty soon we're going to come up to an area where there are ducks and geese, possibly. You can see all over the park there are these benches that are, and other objects that are done in memorial of people that have passed away, or to celebrate those people in another way. See, I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a house across the street with that big pine in front of it. It looks like there's some Christmas decorations on it, a giant Christmas tree. And here is the geese duck pond. And there aren't too many here now. There are times when this place is filled, but you only see 2 at the moment. See a nice wooden bridge, picturesque. See that people like to come here and take pictures. I'm trying to be quiet so they don't disturb them. But this is a popular setting. You'll see everything from this type of scene to people in their wedding dresses and gowns coming here to get their pictures taken. And some park goers playing Feed the Ducks. Pleasant pastime for some people. Finish our tour of Luce Memorial Park here where we started with the statue of Mr. Luce, a major patron of this park. I believe he donated the land for this park before it was built. Again, this is Luce Park. It is one of the largest, most spacious, and nicest parks in the Kansas City area. It's located a few blocks a few blocks south of the plaza. You can see the moon over the statue's shoulder there. And this is Dave with ToothyGrinsStore.com. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you follow the link to ToothyGrinsStore.com at the bottom of this video, it'll take you to one of my favorite products, one that I think every family should have. So this concludes our tour of Luce Memorial Park. This is Dave with ToothyGrinsStore.com. click the link at the bottom of the video if you'd like to see the product I just mentioned. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.